Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey everybody. How we doing? We doing well? Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. We're going to talk about Miss Gabrielle Union today. Because I read that article and it was a lot in it. Give me a second, y'all. Because black women have a lot of... Y'all can't hear me? Somebody saying I'm muted. I'm muted. I don't look muted. I don't seem muted. Put a one in. Oh, you can hear me. Hey, Elgene, how you doing, sweetheart? I apologize. I be trying to. Sometimes I forget to post this everywhere, and then I'll just start. But I usually post it on all of my social media, and sometimes I forget that. So that's what I be doing when I be saying excuse me and all that kind of stuff, and I have my head down. That's actually what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. So I read that article that Gabrielle made, that statement about feeling entitled to cheat. And it's not just the entitlement to the cheating part. It's the other stuff that she said in the article that plagues so many black women. And this is how I know it's projection. When black women like to harp on a man cheating or whatever, and she actually exposes the double standards. So we actually gonna talk about the double standards. Somebody says has everything to do with her being raped and developing a mindset that no man, I guess, will ever have power or control over her in any regard. That's something she got to get over. I don't actually give that as an excuse. Hello? Anybody that's been with me long enough knows my background. So I'm familiar with grapes. And yeah, you just got to work through that trauma. We're going to read the article because we're going to have to get into it. It's a lot. The article is short, but she said a lot in it. So I want to share the screen real quick. And I want to share this article with you guys. I want to make sure you guys kind of see it, make it a little big so you can see it. And it says Gabrielle Union says she felt entitled to cheat on ex Chris Howard. I was paying all the bills. Now, I find that to be interesting, but we're going to dig into that because I pulled out about 3 or 4 different points about what she said that was really interesting. Gabrielle Union revealed that she felt it was her right to cheat. That's important. Her right to cheat, a right to cheat on her ex-husband, Chris Howard, during an appearance on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, released on Monday, January the 2nd. The actress 50 said that her marriage with Chris, 47, was dysfunctional from day one. Gabrielle opened up about how she felt that she was entitled during the interview. The actress said she struggled with focus issues and she was not getting Wife of the Year awards during her marriage to the former NFL player. In our first marriage, neither one of us felt like the marriage should get in the way of the dating. She said a part of it was like keeping up with his activities. Like, oh, that's what you doing? You gonna feel this one. And I just felt entitled to it as well. Now, we gonna cover this first point. Well, you know what? Let me finish the article and then we gonna come back to the points. Then she said, Gabrielle continued and said that she felt like the fact that she was the real breadwinner gave her some of the right to be unfaithful. I was paying all the bills. I was working my A off and I felt like that's what comes, the spoils of riches. She said, like my dad before me, whoever has the most gets to do whatever they want is what I thought. She continued to say the relationship should have never gotten out of the dating phase and that they attended couples therapy where they were told the same thing. The one thing you both have in common is other people, so why don't you just go be with other people? She recalled the therapist telling them. So it just wasn't just the dysfunctional relationship, though, that led to the infidelity. Gabrielle also said she felt like she was seeking validation from certain guys during the marriage. That made me feel like I was worthy and good and valuable and deserving, she explained. Worthy, good, valuable, deserving. Those are interesting words. In hindsight, yes, I absolutely needed something from them that I was not providing for myself, and neither was my marriage. Gabrielle and Chris were married from 2001 to 2005 and finalized their divorce in 2006. Since the split, she married Dwayne Wade in 2014, and the couple have a 4-year-old daughter. Okay, so like I said, the article is really short. But there was a whole lot packed into it. Thank you, Dee, to the broadcast Saturday about the baby. Was perfectly discussed and really opened up a conversation on why all this craziness is coming into our community. Thank you so much for that, Dee. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that because that is a conversation that needs to be had. It's not one that draws a crowd. People don't like to have that conversation and they don't like looking at people that have that conversation. So it is a deterrent YouTube wise, but it is something that's definitely necessary to talk about. So let's talk about Miss Gabrielle Union. But before we get into all of her points, well, I'll save that if it come up naturally in this show, which it probably will. What is really cheating? What is that? What is that? People don't really talk about it I don't think in the right way, because anyway, she says she admits that the dysfunction of the relationship was from day one. So why you in the relationship? If you realize that a relationship is dysfunctional from the first day that you get into it, why do y'all stay? Like, I'm confused. If the relationship is dysfunctional and you recognize that it is dysfunctional early in the relationship, I can see later on patterns of behavior come out and it's like, wait a minute, this isn't quite right. This isn't quite normal. That's different. But if you know it's crazy right from jump, because he crazy and you crazy and y'all crazy together, it's like you can't really complain about the craziness and the foolishness that follows that, because you got into a relationship with craziness and foolishness. I started to title this How Black Women Love Toxic Relationships, because y'all actually like the toxicity. Hyenas like the toxicity. The only women that don't like the toxicity are lionesses. We can't tolerate toxicity. Once a situation has become toxic to us, we're gone. We're gone. Because can't do it. I can't even be in my proper lioness space with foolishness like that, with toxicity. I can't be who I am. I can't do what I do. I can't contribute and add value the way that I contribute and add value as a lioness to a relationship under the umbrella of foolishness. But hyenas like the foolishness because they like participating in the foolishness. They like their side of it. So she want to be a half victim. Well, we were both, dysfunctional. Anytime she got to take accountability, it's a dual accountability. It's his fault too. Instead of saying, you know what? That was on me. That was on me. I wasn't winning any Wife of the Year awards, which translates into I was a piece of trash as a wife. I did nothing that a wife was supposed to do. Didn't honor my husband. I didn't love him. I didn't support him. I wasn't there for him. I didn't even like him. She reveals why she cheated, and it wasn't because the relationship was dysfunctional. It wasn't because she felt entitled to cheat. It was because she said what it was in the article. Do you remember her saying what it was? Y'all remember what she said? She said she was looking for validation from certain kinds of men. The kind of man that her husband was not. That was the reason. But we're going to get to that. I want to cover, it was the tit for tat. That's one of the, thank you to Renzo said, not only why do they stay, but also why do they go back and end up in a worse place than before? Going back, it's the going back for me. That is a good question. Because they'll recognize that a relationship was bad and it didn't serve them this way, that way. It wasn't a good relationship, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll take a breather and then they'll go back. Don't let that dude be throwing their back out. Don't let him be doing that. Don't let him be doing that. That'll always draw a hyena back. Oh, man, well, he did have, he was toxic. Put his hands on me. He did this. He lied, cheat, steal, da-da-da-da-da. But he was throwing my back out. So I'm going to go back and put myself in a compromising position. Put myself in a position where now it's got to be all this other stuff, all this other baggage that come with it. Now I got to go back, but I got to go back and get my back broke. Because I know he know what he doing. That be the number one reason. But even aside from that, that's what she talked about, that, oh, you're going to feel it too. That tit for tat. Let me tell you about that tit for tat. This is why chicks go through men's phones. The reason why women go through these chicks, I ain't even going to say women. The reason why these hyena chicks go through men's phones is because they're actually looking for the justification to do what it is they want to do anyway. So they want to go out and get these other guys and have all of these illicit interactions and sexual interactions with these other men. But they need to have some type of justification in order to do that. So what they'll do is they'll go through a man's phone or go through his private things. When they go through his private things, even if they don't really find nothing, they'll make a mountain out of a molehill with it. If they do find a little something, he liked some IG model page or, whatever, they'll make a mountain out of a molehill with that and run with it. That will be their justification for going out getting another dude. Well, when I look through your phone, and this is why you never look through a man's phone. And brothers, if you got a chick that's constantly trying to look through your phone, because I wouldn't even want to look through my man's phone. I am not interested in what is in his phone. Boring, masculine stuff is in his phone. Okay? Probably a bunch of work stuff and some other stuff and some sports stuff and some stuff I don't want to see and I don't want to read. Even if I trust him and I don't feel that there's other women in his phone, I still don't want to go through his phone. Why am I going through his phone? Why am I taking the time out of my busy day? Out of my lioness day. I'm busy being a lioness. I do not want to see what is in your phone. I do not care what is in your phone because this is what it is. The reason why I am so not caring and unbothered about what's in his phone is because whatever is going on, it'll come out. It'll come out. God, the Most High, bring it out. I ain't got to ask. I ain't got to snoop around. I ain't got to fish. I ain't got to do nothing. All I got to do is wait. All I got to do is wait. If I want to ask somebody about what's going on, I'm going to ask the Most High what's going on. I'm going to ask the Most High to show it to me. If it's something for me to see, let me see it. I'm not going to ask him nothing. I'm not asking him nothing. I am not Google. Who was that? Who was that you was talking to? I don't care who you was talking to. It's women in the world. Okay. Not worried about that. So if you're constantly searching through your man's phone and want to know, you want to check your insecurity first. Check your insecurity. Check, see, do you got back feet? Because it shouldn't bother you. And if you lack trust to a severe degree in your relationship, that is a relationship you need not be in. Just leave it. Because you can't trust. And then figure out whether or not you couldn't trust that person or you don't trust you. You got to figure that out. Thank you, Wiggy Wheels. I always thought it was odd that my last girlfriend had pictures of her junk on her phone. Never knew she had that. See what I'm saying? So that going through the phone, that is a way to get the justification to do what she wants to do. Point 2. And this is actually a big one. She said in that article that one of the reasons why she felt entitled to cheat is that she was paying all the bills. So cheating comes as like a prize. That's the spoils of war. You understand what I mean? Whoever got the money is entitled to, has the right to go cheat or explore their options. Now, it's a lot to unpack with that. First of all, for her, that is, and for many black women, that is a very masculine thought. That's a very masculine stance that she actually took. That's masculine. Whoever got the most money gets to do what they want to do. Let me unpack that for a minute. Most men who understand their masculinity, men who know what's going on, they don't actually think that paying all of the bills gives them a right to cheat. They don't actually think that. Because females have such a pseudo toxic masculinity mindset, and that's a mouthful. They think me having more money means I am in charge. And when I am in charge, you are my subordinate. And when you are my subordinate, I get to do what I want to do because of the money. That is why they sit up and say about what kind of money they have. This is why they tell you, well, I make such and such money. What they trying to tell you, it's not about taking care of the man, because she's not going to take care of him with her money. Money being used for the household is that's not neither here nor there. The fact that she has more in her bank account is what she thinks gives her the right to run a man. That's why she mentioned her money. Because what she's telling men is that, hey, I'm coming with more money than you, so guess what? I'll wear the pants in relationship, and I'll run the relationship, and I'm going to run you in a relationship because I got more money than you. That's what it is. I'm going to run you because I got more money than you. If you don't want me running you, then you're going to have to come with more money than me. In their minds, it's the money. Thank you, Micah said, only thing bosses want are workers. Exactly. Thank you, Be About Peace said, a submissive who trusted her man will turn over her finances to the man. We're going to talk about that. You know what? I might put that on Patreon. Or I might put that on like a membership thing. I'm thinking about new content and new ways to deliver content to y'all. Because I agree with that. Putting all the finances in the pot. But there are rules to everything. I'll just say it like that. There's rules to everything. There's rules to everything. I'll just put it like that. Even in Islam, it's rules to stuff. It's rules to that. So the rules that I understand are coming from that perspective. But I won't go too far. That's a rabbit hole. Let's keep talking about how black women think that money makes them the boss of the man. She get to dictate and run a relationship. I'm going to do a video. I got a lot of content in my head. I'm going to stop doing that because I got a lot of content in my head. But this is why they talk about what they talk about. The money. This is throwing me off a little bit. Here's the question. If the boss get to do what they want to do, why are all the chicks upset with cheating? Why are the women upset at the men who pay all the bills and then explore their options? Why y'all mad? Why you mad about that? If paying all the bills gives you that right, and the men say, okay, paying the bills gives me that right, what y'all mad at? What you mad at? If that's what you think, but it only apply to you. Black women only like double standards that benefit them. They don't like double standards that don't benefit them. Thank you, Jason said it's a trap. If she has more, she gonna run you. If you have more, she gonna take you for what you have. For hyenas, yes. I'm gonna start making more of a distinction between hyenas and lionesses because we are very different. In many important aspects, we are very different women. It's born out of insecurities. They talk so much about cheating because they're insecure. They're insecure about not being good women. They're insecure about not knowing how to be feminine women. They're insecure about how they behave or don't behave as women. So cheating becomes this big thing, this cardinal sin, because what that does for them is it solidifies for them that the insecurity that they feel that's what it is. They are not good enough. They have not been good enough. See, for them, for hyenas, that's huge. That's huge. Because they already don't feel worthy as women. They already don't feel worthy. They already feel less than because they don't know how to be women. And they don't know how to be fulfilled as women. This is leading me into the third thing. Because she said that she was looking for validation from certain types of men. And she was getting at least somewhat of that validation through sex. But we're going to go on a break because it's a lot that I want to unpack. And I need y'all to come back with me so we can unpack it. But after these messages, we'll be right back.
Look, I'm black guy. Hello, how may I help you?
Hey, Habibi, look, my hang low ain't working like it's supposed to. You got any of them sex pills?
May I randomly suggest one of these generic products?
Nah.
You should take the A game, little bro.
Bling bling for the ding ding.
Nah.
You shouldn't be taking that poison, little bro. Here, try one of mine.
Yes, right.
A game will make a girl give you her credit card number.
It is very true.
Plus, it's an all-natural solution for men. Not like these gas station pills gonna make your manhood shrivel up and fall off.
Oh my golly, he's right. A-game is an all-natural solution for men. And you take it and it give you energy and libido and your vitality will be out the roof.
I feel it kicking in already. I'm gonna go home and show my girl.
Okay, but don't forget to drink 16 to 32 ounces of water.
Hey, baby.
Ooh, look who brought their A game.
And the A is for apocalypse, cause I'm about to blow your back up.
Ooh, I love it when you bring your...
She's knocked out. If you want to be knocked out, if you wanna get your man to knock you out, you gotta get him some A game. You gotta get on the A game, the A game, the A game. If you want to become part of the A game family, all you gotta do is hit the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com. Don't forget your 10% discount using the code Kendra10 so you can have A game delivered to you ASAP. All right. I want to thank everybody for their contributions. I want to thank everybody for their likes because bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to You got to hit the like button because we got 357 wonderful people who've hit the like button. Let's get the other 500 people to hit the like button as well so that we can continue this cook. I was talking about the insecurity of these women. and why cheating is such a big thing, no matter the nature of the relationship. First of all, if y'all just kicking it, it ain't no such thing as cheating. It really ain't no such thing as cheating. You single till you married. You single till you married. I know that don't feel good for a lot of people that are in long-term relationships without any type of commitment of any sort. But you single till you married. You single till you married. If there was no agreement, I don't care whether we were talking about a monogamous marriage, a polygynous marriage, or whatever the agreement was, in whatever kind of commitment that you looking to have, you are single until that happens. Thank you, Micah. So feminism in deception has twisted the meanings between power and authority. So non-black women want to be both traditional men and untraditional women. So now black women, yeah, that's true. Now, mind you, this is the same chick that said that she was mad at Dwayne Wade when he did it, and that if she could have went back, she wouldn't have stayed. Girl, if you don't knock that off, he was looking for validation, correct? Why come he didn't feel entitled? Why come he wasn't entitled to do the same thing you felt entitled to do? Because listen, let me tell you something. If she felt entitled to do that, that feeling of entitlement did not go anywhere just because she's in a different relationship. And we're going to go back into that. But first I want to dig into this pathology. I wrote it out, but there's more. Maybe when I talk, it'll come out. She's looking for validation from certain men. These certain kinds of men were not Chris Howard. It was not him. She was having sex with men that she was able to be in a circle because of her profession and because she was just in that world. So she was able to rub shoulders, rub elbows with high-powered men, high-earning men, or high-value men. Whether these men were actors or producers behind the scenes, or whether they were businessmen or other network-linked kind of men, these are the men that she's able to socialize with. She's able to be around. It wasn't even the money. See, it's a lot of things that we're going to have to start going over in more depth. It's not the money. I need y'all to understand that hyenas use money and men's money, and whether they have it or not, as a smoke screen to excuse and justify behavior. And I'm gonna need my brothers to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe with these chicks. They tell you narratives. They give you narratives. They give the world narratives. They make excuses for the types of things that they do. And they attempt to justify. They justify not being feminine with men because the men don't have enough money to make them feminine. This is a lie. They're not feminine because they're masculine. Because she's with a man with plenty of money and she masculine. So it's not money. Oh, the money ran out, so she wasn't attracted. No, she wasn't attracted before. Because when she feel like she respect the dude and when she feel a certain kind of way about him, it don't matter what he got. Them pockets could be on rabbit ears and she gonna be there. That is not how women work. That is how gynocratically induced hyenas tell you they work. That's not how women work. We got to get a lot of concepts straight. These chicks are not acting like that because of money. They are not fulfilled women. That's why they act out. Why do you think I talk about feminism so much? Because it has robbed women of their sense of purpose and fulfillment. When you're empty, you do anything. The first problem, she's able to schmooze with these men, but she's not the kind of woman that these men are going to invest in. So they settle for the sexual contact of these men. They settle for the sexual contact of these men. Because that's that's the only part of validation that they can get from him, is that he looked at them and said, you're sexy enough, you're hot enough for me to, and that's what she get. That's all she can get, so that's what she go get. That's what she go get from him. It's a temporary validation, which is why she goes back to either him or some other dude like him. Why is it temporary validation? Sex is not real validation of women. She said that she wanted to feel. She said that she wanted to feel worthy and good and valuable and deserving. Worthy, good, valuable, deserving is what she said. The only women who truly feel like that are women who are covered well by their husbands. Women who are covered well by their husbands feel worthy and good and valuable and deserving. Thank you again, Micah. Said Miss Kendra did not, Jada Pinkett, use that same word, validation. What do you think validation means and how? I'm explaining it. Validation. Thank you, Philip. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you all for your contributions. I really appreciate them. I really appreciate them. Well, thank you, Spark. And he's not offended. Thank you. Validation. She wants to feel good and worthy and valuable and deserving. We told you before that the highest station for a woman is wife. To be covered well by her husband. The real validation is when a man not only gives you, real validation is when he gives you all four, not one. Reason why these hyenas go from man to man to man is because that sexual validation is not real. And it is temporary. also. Okay? It is temporary as well because it's just one piece of 1P. It's not even full procreation. It's one aspect of procreation, which is the sex. She's not even getting the kindness and the affection out of it. So they take what they can out of them. Temporary. She cannot be chosen by the men she sees the most value in. Those men do not see value in her. So the only value that she could get is for them to look at her and, like I said, they think she's hot enough to smash. She's not hot. She's not enough of a woman to do nothing else with. She's able to be around the men, but they do not supply her with the very thing that validates women. 4 P's, yes, but that first P, provision, he's providing masculine energy and masculine light to her. She's not getting that from these men in a way that covers her. This is a part of that emptiness that women feel, that hyenas feel, because they don't never get covered. So they just become harder and harder and harder. She said that they were giving her something that she could not provide for herself. What can't women provide for themselves? This is why they double talk. I can do it for myself. I can provide on my own. No, you can't. Because provision is not just money. Provision is masculine light and masculine energy. Women will never be able to provide that for themselves. Ever. Just like men do not provide feminine energy for themselves. They don't do it. Masculine men never do it. That's why they look for feminine women, because they can't produce that energy. Thank you, Welt Beast. And my aunt said one thing you realize about most women is you will find they have bold audacity. They will look you dead in your face and call you out on something they do and you know they do. Yes. Yes. And thank you. So here's what we got to understand about this stuff. What this does, what she talked about, she's talking about an emptiness. This is why she gets with them. Thank you, Chano. So can you revamp the broken, empty field vessel lectures? I will do that. The empty vessels. These are empty vessels. Women don't do well when they are empty. Thank you for reminding me, Chano. I'll work on that. What she's talking about speaks to the pathological masculinity of Black women. That type of pseudo-toxic masculinity works as both the things that take away her fulfillment, i.e. through feminism, and it is also the thing that stops women from getting fulfillment or moving towards it. I'm going to repeat that. The pathological, toxic masculinity that Black women have taken on due to following the tenets of feminism work as the thing that takes them away from fulfillment as a woman And it also is the blockade that stops them from going towards fulfillment as a woman at any point in their lives. That was the purpose of feminism towards Black women, was to get them to remove herself from the covering of Black men, which would then make her callous. It would bring about that pseudo-masculine energy. And without the collective covering of Black men that she removed herself out from under, that pseudo-masculinity goes on unchecked. And it becomes this wild. When you couple pseudo-masculinity with the chaos of women, this is what you get. I need people to understand that. The reason we see Black women in the condition that they are in is this is the result of when you combine pseudo-toxic masculinity with the chaos that is naturally in women. It's combustible. You get this mess. You get this. Thank you, Stardust. Said, ever wonder if toxic masculinity was more an attribute of Black women and they projected onto Black men to evade accountability? It's possible. It's in my head. It's in my head. I'm having trouble. Anyway. I'm glad it was Gabrielle Union. I'm glad it was Gabrielle Union that made this statement, because she's actually the perfect example of this growing pseudo-masculinity coupled with a woman's chaos, and it's combustible. These women are unstable in every aspect of their lives. She's not a happy woman. And you can't be happy when you can't be fulfilled. This is where the angry Black woman comes from. That's why they made a trope out of it, because you're gonna have to be angry as a woman when you have no fulfillment. Therefore, no happiness, no contentment, no peace. The only other thing is that can fill those voids up is anger, bitterness, contempt. She's a miserable woman, in fact, which is why she chose Dwayne Wade and then proceeded to dominate him. Okay? He cheated. I think he came up with a kid, and he has been paying in that relationship ever since. He's been paying. He's been paying a price. She's been making him pay a price. Instead of leaving, she's making him pay a price for having done the same thing that she feels entitled to be able to do. To the point where she is actively participating in the ruination of his biological child, not their biological child. You understand that that is not a mistake. It's not a coinky-dink. That she's actively encouraging the ruination of his child with another woman that was there before she was there. Thank you, 39 Dina. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And thank you, Frederick. Said, yes, Kendra, these are the results. Thank you. There's a lot in my head in terms of content, and I wrote everything down, but it was difficult for me to get it all out like I wanted to. Thank you, Okitami. So I seriously want to collab, but yes, nail in a coffin. Toxic masculinity is a female behavior. Masculinity isn't toxic for us. It's our nature. It's only toxic when produced in double X, lacks control. Exactly. Exactly. Let me talk a little bit about you know what, I'm gonna save it. I can't flesh it. I can't build the plane while I'm flying it right now. Thank you again, Welt Beast. I'm so glad to catch this live again. My new work schedule makes it hard. I never miss an episode though. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Dante. So thank you, ma'am. People thought I was crazy when I suggested that. Thank you so much. She ruined that man's child on purpose. These women are empty. You know what? They're not empty. They're just full of the wrong thing. See, a vessel gotta get filled. We're vessels. We must be filled. But it depends on what we filled with. When you follow in the lost value system, you are filled with contempt and bitterness and anger and evil and malice and vitriol and poison, because that's what it does. A vessel will be filled. A woman that is living by the 10 life values is also filled, but she's filled with truth. She's filled with support. She's filled with care. She's filled with love. She's filled with happiness and contentment. She is actually fulfilled. A vessel will always be filled. But what value system she follows will dictate what fills her. Thank you, Dante. See, she is definitely trying to sabotage his child out of spite. Yeah. Thank you, Micah. Once again, so Miss Kendra, maybe share one day if you can on this punishment mentality against black men. Why do black women have to be the punisher of black men? They're overseers. Has an overseer ever needed permission or reason to beat the slave on the plantation? Have Have they ever had to have a reason? Are they not overseers? Did not Zaddy put her over you by giving her power in a gynocracy that comes from them? I've never seen an overseer that needed permission. I've never seen an overseer that needed to have the question of why be answered, because they take the same mindset Zaddy is. I'm white and I say so. I'm a hyena and I say so. Thank you, Ed. Said what's in a person will come out of them. Thank you. Her being financial poison to Dwayne Wade is the least of his issues with her. Money is the least of his issues with her. If he knew better, he would give all of his wealth to have her out of his life. If he knew anything, if he understood exactly who Gabrielle is, what she represents, what she is, what she does, what she thinks, how she operates, he would give all his wealth in all his accounts, and he would sign it over to her with the biggest smile on his face and with the biggest relief and weight off of his heart that anybody could ever imagine. Money's the least of his issues with her. Thank you, Mr. Breeze, for my YouTube crush. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to jump off of here. You all can, I want to thank everyone, first of all, for their contributions to the show today. I want to thank you for your likes and your participation today. You can go to crimsoncure.com and pick up your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine. The revisions that we did should be done by the end of the week. By next week, thank you, L Factor, so she's exactly the character she plays in her movies, yeah. Thank you so much. By next week, inshallah, I'll be able to have another proof that I can show you, and then we should be able to start shipping them out. I want to say by the end of the next week, not this week. But I'm hopeful for about next week to start shipping this book out. The revisions are pretty much done. Just doing some last minute things, making sure everything is okay so I can get a proof for this. You'll have it in your hands by the end. Most of you will have it in your hands by the end of the month, inshallah. Thank you so much, Dante Bryant. So he can't because Gabrielle is his MK Ultra programming and handler. That's a completely different story that I am so not going to jump into, but I know exactly what you are talking about. But I want to thank everybody for their contributions. I want to thank my team. Oh, the link is in the description box for the book as well. If one of my mods can put the link to crimsoncure.com in the chat, please, that would be awesome. But the link is in the description box so that you can make that purchase. I want to thank my executive team for all of the wonderful work that they put into this. This has been a long haul, longer than any of us anticipated. But I'm thanking everybody for being super extra patient and understanding as we get over the last few hurdles of getting this book out the way that we need to get it out. Thank you, A+, and Modern Black Women Aren't the Easiest to Be Programmed. The WS studied them. Can't wait to get your book in the mail. Please do a segment on the chaos in detail. Okay. And my executive team is the best. They really put their heart and soul into everything. So I want to thank them. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.